www.youtube.com/TAPKAC, or the artist presently known as Chris. Chris is Hungry, a show involving cooking and other things. Episode 12, First Third, Corned Beef Stew. This means that it's a 3-part episode. To see the full episode, please continue to episode 12, 2/3, and episode 12, 3/3. All material including music, monologues, and artwork by Christopher D. Hampton at Facebook or tapkac@gmail.com. Before we get to any cooking, how about we have some music? Hi, I'm Chris. You know something? I'm hungry. So, but being that I'm going to make something that's going to take at least 8 hours to make, I'm just going to start the preparation of the 8-hour thing and possibly have something in between while we make what the main purpose of this is. So, let me move the keyboards. Okay. And then we'll get started. So, as I mentioned, we're having corned beef stew, and I'm going to use the slow cooker, hence the minimum of 8 hours to make this. So, got that, and we're going to plug it in there, and then we got the cover there, and let's get ourselves a cooking ladder. Let's find out which way is up on this thing. And there we go. So we stuff that in there. Makes the cleaning a lot easier. And let's see, set that around like that. Down. My hands are clean. I washed them just before making this show, so don't worry. Now we have our corned beef brisket here. A little peppercorn seasoning packet there. And let's see, got a knife. Oh dear, it's not even fresh out of the dishwasher, but we're not going to be cutting it just yet. Okay, there's the seasoning packet thing of peppercorns, as I mentioned. Slimy. Okay, and first we're going to we got this. Well, I'll give you a clue to the name of the brand of lager here. It's Levian's Celtic Scarlet. Does that work? Okay. Anyway, so got that. And then, along with that, here's some leftover juice from the dead cow I ate a couple days ago. Some people call it steak, I call it what it is, dead cow. Isn't that a dead cow as well? Anyway. Okay, a little bit of that. And we're going to give this a little mix up there. Then, let's see, take out our corned beef thing here. Throw that in there like that, yeah. And then we're going to have some more of this Levian's Celtic Scarlet. I'll drink the rest later. And some more of the other stuff. With all the stuff that I added to it. And, oh yeah, peppercorns. My hands are all slimy. Can't get the bloody thing open. Okay. There we go. That's a bit better, and come on, yeah. That's much better. Okay, and we'll sprinkle that. Okay, so we'll put that on, and we switch it on low for about 8 hours. And so, oh dear. I'll wash my hands here. Or at least give it a good rinse. So, while that's going on, let me tell you a story. Back in 1999, when I first moved here, well, I only came with my cat, my instruments, and whatever else I could stuff in the car. And fortunately, the next day, my friend found me the place where I'm standing right now, and have been living ever since. And well, they had a spare TV for me to use, but it went on the fritz. It fizzled out about 3 or 4 days later. So what I did have in the meantime, besides whatever books I had, and let's see, the Hellraiser, the collection of comic books I had, like the Hellraiser for one, and some of the Nightbreed for another, and the Clive Barker Marvel comics, and oh yeah, for listening to any kind of music, I had my alarm clock radio, and I also had you know, my 4-track recorder to play tapes. This very 4-track recorder, and what I would do is I would, you know, in the headphone jack, I would just you know, I would turn these two up and these two down. Otherwise, I would be listening to side A and side B simultaneously, and who needs that? And yeah, I know it looks kind of old. As a matter of fact, I bought this 1991, and I got this thing brand new for about $400, and at a certain chain of instrument stores that are, you know, all over the states and possibly beyond. And funny thing is, I was signed on to the mailing list, and so I would get all these brochures of, you know, super sale, super sale, super sale, we're slashing prices. This 4-track recorder of this duct tape brand 4-track recorder. The list price is $1,000 and $1,999.99. We're slashing the prices down to the unbelievable $799.99. To which I'm thinking, I got it for $400 less than that, you dumb bollocks. Yeah. So anyway. So one night I'm listening to the classic radio station, and who just happens to be on tour but Black Sabbath, which, well, Black Sabbath had and Ozzy had reunited, and they even put out a song, you know, an album. The first song of which was Psycho Man, and well, jumping ahead a bit, they didn't play that at the concert because the well, chances were still running high due to the Columbine massacre. So anyway, I want to go see Black Sabbath featuring The Return. Yeah. And so I call the radio station and I say, hey, you know, I know you guys got access to tickets, you know, and sometimes you have giveaways and you know, or tickets as prizes. How? And they said, yeah. And I said, well, what can I do to score some? And they said, well, what would you be willing to do? And I said, I don't know. They said, what, you mean like eat worms or something? And I said, all right. They said, all right, what? And I said, yeah, I'll have a few. They said, a few what? Worms. They said, you eat worms for, you know, for Ozzy tickets? Yeah, sure, why not? You know, I can, you know, it's, you know, considering the stuff that I make on this show, you know, I can handle some worms. And so they said, well, do you know where the station is? And well, they tell me where the station is, and they say, okay, just go to the local convenience store, get yourself one of those styrofoam bowls of bait. You know, it's dirt and it's got, you know, worms to put on the hook, you know, for when you go fishing. And so I did, and so I bought that. I bought a bottle of water, and I took a spoon, and I took the one plate that I owned. Not that you actually rent plates or anything. Wait a minute. Actually, sometimes you do rent plates, because every time you go to a restaurant, you're basically renting the plate. Kind of like at the Irish pub that I used to hang out at. This is from that restaurant. They gave it to me, by the way. So I go over there and you know, meet them and everything else, and so there I am at the station, and they so I just, you know, take the styrofoam bowl and, you know, got a big pile of, you know, mud. Well, actually, well, kind of not necessarily mud, but not necessarily dry dirt either. Anyway, and I got a spoon in, and they say, okay, well, we're back to the studio, and here we have Mr. Chris Hampton, and he's here to eat worms to get tickets to go see. To which I say, Black Sabbath, featuring the return of original lead singer Ozzy Osbourne. And the guy looks at me, and kind of like, you been on the radio before? To which I said, well, I was a musical guest on over in the radio station in Point Reyes, California, but not to eat worms, but you know. So anyway, so you know, just take a spoon and, you know, just kind of pour some water and you know, kind of shake it a bit, and, you know, I didn't have to chew or taste or savor the flavor or anything of the sort. Just you know, and yeah, so. And by the way, yes, this is going on all over the radio. People are listening, and one guy actually called in and said, "Hey, I'll walk the entire belt line, you know, for you know, those Ozzy tickets." A belt line, by the way, is the freeway that goes in a circle around, you know, the city and connects with other highways. So the guy says, "You'll walk the entire belt line for Ozzy tickets, dude. We got a guy eating worms here." So anyway, yeah, I swallowed 7 live worms for Ozzy tickets. I also got some other prizes, and you know, like a Star Wars hat and a Star Wars T-shirt, and well, episode 1 had just come out. Anyway, so that's that story, and well, in about 8 hours I'll shoot the second third of this episode. In the meantime, I'm going to give myself a haircut because I know I look like Christopher Walken in Batman Returns. And let's see, I also have time to go get my car oil changed. I have time to clean up the house a bit. Oh yeah, and upload this portion of the show. So, back in about 8 hours.